8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Got me up the coast, boy. Wanna hear the ocean roar, crash over me. Then ride it home, dance it out in moonlight. Hold me tight and don't let go. Watch over me. We are all stardust, stardust, stardust. Left behind, left to find one another, face the sun, fear no one, 'cause we are all one, we are all one, we are all, we are all one, we are all one, we are all. Pick me up, get moonshine, put me into overflow. Superstar.
Hey everyone! Today's wiener is 3 flying doves. Congratulations! So I was reading Kathy's comment, or I'm sorry, Kathy's. I was about to say hi, Kathy, and then okay. I was reading Kimberly's comments because from while the intro was going, she says, "Hey Ziggy, Ryan and Jen were out and about today, East Lawn Cemetery. I made a comment. You just passed Flute Man's former house. Oh, his wife is buried in the cemetery. They don't know." And then I wrote DT a private message. DT. Who's DT? DT. I wrote DT a private message. I called WJHL, the newsroom, and asked why have they not pushed back for Ronnie Lawson to make a comment that he would be making a statement soon. And then you said WJHL, so they are like us and get pushed back. The girl said something is not right with this case. Wow. Ronnie Lawson can't make a statement soon enough, right? You can't finish a couple of Daisy's videos. Check them out if you have time later. I'm not very good at it, but trying to learn. Oh, you finished. I was like, why are you referring me to Daisy's channel? I was really confused. I was like, what is happening? And I was like, wait, Whistle of all people is referring me to Daisy's channel to go and telling me that she's checking out Daisy's content. I see what you mean. You mean you made some videos. It wasn't you watching them. You made your video you did that I saw. It was really good. It was really good. It was funny. Cooter Punch Studios or whatever. It was funny. Thank you, Lean on Me. Hey, little Miss Sunshine. How you guys doing? Thank you guys so much. Everything is good, you guys. As far as you guys have been so helpful. Now, the bank situation didn't quite, okay, it kind of got figured out, but I contacted them today and I sent in my phone bill because they wanted to prove my new number was mine. But so we've got it. I've got it figured out. Don't worry, guys. We're good because you guys, so many of you guys reached out and came up with awesome ideas, and I think I'm gonna be good. It's looking a lot like Christmas here, except grandbaby just got diagnosed with flu, so I guess we're not. Oh no! So nobody worry about me and that situation. I am gonna have to make a bank, a brick and mortar. But anyways, I was able to, I'm able to use a check for the account. I know that. And I have enough on a different card for my car rental, so it should be fine. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Juno. You guys were also like, so many people were so worried and concerned, and I was like, wow, thank you guys so much. It wasn't even, I've had worse things happen, but everybody was like really, and I was like, but I think a lot of people had some really good ideas, because many of you had been in similar situations, and a few of you had emailed me or messaged me and told me like what you did in that situation. Yes, it did, Brittany. Hey, Carla, Direwolf, Nene, was it Dina, and Rhonda? So I was dealing with the bank for a while today, and also with I had to, let's see Fred called today. I did talk to Fred. He is so funny. He was so worried about me because I was so upset last night, because I ended up talking to him last night, and he's like, "Are you good now?" Like, he's like, "Don't let it bother you." Like, Fred was like, "He'll see the truth." People will see. That's what Fred says. I wish I could like handle things. Fred is so good at handling like the things people say and put out. He has such a good attitude in life, and we could really learn a lot from him. He's like, it's just like, it seems like he's been screwed over a lot in his life. And it's kind of, you can tell because he's used to it, kind of like I am a little bit from YouTube and stuff, but he's even more so like, he's just very humble. And he just said, he even called me back last night, like right before he was going to be locked down, to just double check to make sure I was okay, because of how upset I was. Like, or was it? Yeah, he called back or was it today when he? No, it was last night. I get them all mixed up. Any update on when they were moving him? Yeah, so I did talk to him today, and I was, that's part of the reason why we were talking. We were talking about that. Of course, the Ryan situation and stuff, just, he just told me not to, he just doesn't, he's like, don't worry about it. Ryan will see the truth. He's like, I'm used to this, and I was like, yeah. And it's not like Ryan's saying anything bad about Fred. Well, he doesn't realize. He's not saying anything bad about Fred. But the thing is, what he doesn't realize is that pretty much, if he's guaranteeing that Andy was on that road that day, then that does mean that Fred lied to me. That would automatically mean he lied to me. And everybody. Because he knew I was, and I don't take lightly to people lying at all. Like, even if it's Fred, seriously. He would have been cut off like way before now if I saw he was playing games like Don and Candace and Jody Sue. He just thinks, so about the rehab. Yes. So the rehab lady, when I talked to her, I tried to text her today and contact her because he has a couple other questions. He doesn't know if he's going to be transported or if they're going to, I bet they are. So that's what he wants me to find out. And he also wants me to find out if he'll be able to have his cell phone. But that question I can look into by looking into the rehab itself, where he's going. But I did send it to the, I didn't get a message back. I told him I would call too today if I didn't get a message back, but I got so distracted and didn't make a call. But when I talked to her, she believes that he should be out of there by the end of this month. Really, Rhonda? Yeah. Maybe, Lena, maybe. Yeah, crazier things have happened. But I think overall he's a good guy. But I mean, that, at this point, I don't, I was just very disappointed last night. But I still I did block him, and I did, make sure I'm not suggested his videos, because when I was suggested his videos today, it just kind of upset me. So seeing it. But I don't stay upset long, but it is shitty. And if I'm upset, if I feel like it was shitty still the next day, then then it really was, because I get over stuff so quickly, and I realize so quickly, I get super mad, instantly, I can be impulsive, which a lot of times, but it burns, the fire burns real quick, and it's, the fire's out super quick, I get real mad, and for a very short time. And then after I calm down after that, then I sometimes realize, oh, okay, I overreacted, or I was wrong. Well, I'm still not, I'm today, after I even slept and stuff and thought a lot about it, I still feel the same. So I don't feel any different about my decision, my video last night. My feelings have not changed really. But it's just I won't work with him. You know what I mean? Towards the case, I just won't work with him anymore. It's just not a big deal. Let him do it. We'll just kind of go our separate ways. But that doesn't mean I don't like Donna Serafina at all, because she's completely separate. I'm just talking about him in particular. And of course, unfortunately, that involves his wife, because it's like a package deal, basically. But his wife seems like a very nice lady. What was I was going to say? It was underhanded. Thank you, Irish. I try to do what I feel is the right thing. So, I know what I was going to talk about. Who watched Michelle After Dark's video? It was really good, wasn't it? I hadn't been watching Michelle After Dark a lot, very much recently, because our viewpoints aligned very similarly. I noticed as far as how I viewed things, and so I really loved watching Michelle's videos, and she did get me a lot of followers from doing reviews on my videos and stuff. But she kind of started questioning Fred Hill and stuff, and kind of the cotton stuff. So I just kind of stopped watching it for a while. But I was sent that video from several of you today, Michelle's video, and I seriously watched it twice because it was so good. Who here's still wrapping? Oh, me, everything. I haven't even gotten. I have to do that all tomorrow. So did you guys all see Michelle After Dark's video? Basically, she proved that Ryan was lied to by whoever said to him that those properties were sold for Andy to get back on his feet. And I just didn't know what a trust was. I'm the one that showed Ryan that, and sent him that and highlighted it, that this thing that Michelle was putting up. I'm the one that sent him that. I didn't understand what a revocable trust was, but I figured, he would know, like, right? I just thought he would know. So I said, I don't really understand what this is. I found this about, I did find it, but other people has found it too previously. It wasn't like I discovered it, but, I was showing him how the properties over at Fields Roads, he was wanting to know the owner. And I was like, and we were trying to find exactly which ones was the Bernard's property. Well, couldn't find any under Bernard's names on Fields Road. But we did find those revocable trusts, right? It is Bernard's. What it is it's put into, they didn't sell the properties. They just put the properties into a trust. So, which is really weird too. It's still weird. Even if they didn't sell it right after Summer went missing, it's still weird to do the trust thing 3 months after Summer went missing. And the reason why it's weird, and it's something that one of you guys had emailed me about too, is that what if, like, think about, why would somebody want to let's think of the reasons that somebody would want to put property in a trust. Okay, which it could be nothing. But could it possibly be that maybe law enforcement really was out there focusing on Fields Road area, which we know they were, and maybe they were really centered on the Bernard's property out there in Fields Road, and maybe there was disturbed land out there, and maybe the Bernards got scared, like, oh my God, what if Andy is involved or did something, or what if our property is involved somehow? Not saying the Bernards did it, just because something's their property, it doesn't mean, they're gone a lot from that area. The parents don't, George and Polly don't live out there. Like, a lot of times they're in Florida, I hear. It's almost like, oh, we better put it in this trust in case something happens and we get sued and they try to take the property. That's avoids lawsuits. So either way, putting it in a trust or selling the property are both suspect. So, but the thing is that Michelle After Dark was saying that he was lied to by whoever told him that property was sold for Andy to get on his feet. Well, it wasn't even sold. And then also, Michelle also brings up a good point that we talked about too, is why, if that's true, if it was to get on his feet to get, in a new place and stuff, why did he come on YouTube asking for a trailer? Help with a trailer? Like, see, and that's what I'm just irritated about. Ryan just Ryan just like jumped the gun. He just jumped the gun, and I was trying to slow him down and have him think about it a little bit more, and it just didn't work. Oh, I know. Trust me. I know he's new to YouTube. He's hearing this stuff for the first time, but there's a lot to it. If you guys did not see my Joe Papawick, if you didn't see my video yesterday, probably want to watch. You need to watch the whole thing though, at least like the first hour or something, to really understand why I'm upset. It has nothing. It's a respect thing. I'm not going to go over it again because it's just a fact, and I know like a lot of people heard this, but they're going to still turn it around. But it's the fact that I asked him to please. He told me, well, basically, he wouldn't tell me the evidence that he had that Andy was on the road that day, for that he claimed he had for sure evidence that Andy was not, or was not. I'm sorry, God, I keep saying that. He had said he had for sure evidence that Andy was not on that road that day before 6 p.m. And basically, and he messaged me while I was live, basically saying he needed to talk to me because he was about to like put out something, possibly in a few days. And I was like, well, I said, if this proof, I asked him, I was like, what is the proof? And then he's like, oh, I can't risk it getting out. I can't risk it getting out. I'm like, so you won't tell me what this is in advance? Like when I literally gave you pretty much everything you, like a lot of what you have, and trusted you with like very private stuff that nobody else has seen. That I really trusted him because I don't know, I believed in him, and he acted like he was going to be fair to Fred, and he wasn't going to put out. It was going to be a few days, but once he saw my reaction, I got really pretty upset when he wouldn't tell me. I got really mad when he wouldn't tell me this supposed definite evidence, and claimed that he was going to put it out in a video and couldn't tell me in advance. He couldn't risk it being leaked. And then, like, when he heard my reaction and stuff, all of a sudden, like, I noticed, like, it was like within 20 minutes or something, he has a new video up. And then what's the video about? The whole Andy Bernard and Fred Hill shit that he said he wasn't going to talk about for a few days. His supposed evidence. Supposed evidence is talking to somebody. It's not evidence. It's hearsay. Thank you, Sunshine. A friend would have given you a heads up. And, well, he did. Like, he gave me the respect to message me, but he didn't. I was live, but he didn't. It's not his fault. It's okay. For something like that, something like if you're going to sit here and tell me that, basically, even though he was saying, I'm not telling you Fred's lying, I'm not telling you Fred's lying, I just think he's mistaken. And I said, well, no, if Andy was not on that road that day, he lied to me. There's no way around it. He's went in detail about talking to TBI about it and everything. So it's either one or the other. Either Fred is lying or Andy is lying. And if Fred is lying, I will cut him off like quicker than, I'm serious. But I don't believe he's lying. I don't have proof that he's lying. You guys see the predicament that I've been in for 2 years. Hey, crazy mom. Fred, every single time, like especially he just always like makes me feel like even more confident when I talk to him. He's just like, don't worry about it. Like, it will come out. People will see. The truth will come out. You know, and he just has such a good attitude about it and stuff. So that is really helpful. Right? For me, it's easy. Lips, I don't know why you're here. You left like a really nasty comment under my video. I think you need a timeout from this freaking channel. So you brought yourself into something saying you were trying to act like I am sometimes. I don't know what your comment was. I didn't even read it. I actually deleted it once I started to read it and saw that it was hateful. And it was you trying to like lie, make it about yourself. I have no clue and I have no idea what you're talking about me putting out content of. No, I've never been worried about putting out content before somebody else. Trust and believe that. Oh, I know it. You guys, I got so much. I even got more proof like from you guys. Like there's a couple people who have emailed me being like, don't let this deter you in your belief in Fred, because I'm telling you, I've had people have been like, I have seen surveillance video. I myself, like, there's people on that road. There is supposedly there is people who have supposedly seen video by one of the neighbors. There is people have emailed me and been like, there is absolutely definitely video. There was video the 15th, but the neighbors are scared to come forward because of retaliation, which I don't blame them. And had I known that in advance, I would have never even said who Fred said they were. So I apologize about that. I wasn't thinking. Somebody sent me a screenshot of Prairie Gardens community post. I'll show it in a little bit. Well, see, I get it though, Smiley. I understand. Like we can't trust anybody. Hey, where's Summer? Ginger Snap, that girl. No FBI officer needs to stay out rolling out, and anyone and everyone is a suspect. Hey, Peace in a Pot. Yeah, see, like I knew he coming on acting like saying the whole clearing thing. We can't clear anybody. I mean, we in our minds we can, in our research. Like I need absolute proof. I haven't been able to really. The only person I personally, me myself, but this is my own decision. The only person I have ruled out completely, who I guess people consider a suspect, is Fred Hill. That's me personally. If I saw evidence to the contrary that he lied to me, then I'd be like, well, why would he lie to me? What would be the purpose? You know what I mean? People who lie are covering something up. There's a reason. So if I found any type of lies from him in any way, from Fred and his stories and stuff, that is, I'm not talking about freaking monkeys, like superstition and that stuff. Like, people can have their beliefs, okay? That's fine. I mean, solid evidence. But personally, my belief, absolutely, Fred has nothing to do with anything to do with Summer. And I absolutely 100%, 5,000% believe him that he saw Andy on that road that day. And I believe Laura saw Andy on the road that day too. And I believe Fred when he says TBI knows Andy was on that road that day. There's some reason for something. There's something that they're trying to get that they haven't been able to figure out. It's the only thing I can think of why they haven't fucking, like Michelle Walk said. or Michelle After Dark. Why haven't they freaking hounded him, like interrogated that heck out of that dude? If he was on that road that day, why? Why aren't we not pressuring some of these people? Candace would break. What the hell is going on? No, guys, it wasn't the day before or after. If he absolutely would have had to lie to me. It could not have been a mistake. Huh? What? Sorry, I was talking to my daughter. If it was, even if, let's say it was a different day, which Fred says, I don't know how many freaking times I've asked him if it's possible he could have got the day wrong. If even the day's wrong, he lied to me. So I'm telling you, that's how confident I believe in Fred, that I will even I believe him. I don't believe, if those days got mixed up, then he lied to me, because he told me he talked to TBI directly about Andy being on the road that day, that they confirmed to him in conversations that they were talking about it. Fred wore a wire on all these people back there in the holler. Law enforcement wanted to know what they were all talking about back there. So if it's not that day that Fred saw Andy, then yeah, I would be pissed. Because I don't know how many times I've asked him. And he also said that so that would have been a straight up lie, guys. There's no room for error here. And the fact that, and Fred told me that Andy said, I don't know though. This is all Fred told me though. I wish I had, but it does line up with what other people have been saying and stuff. Like, I got emails too, like that from a couple people who said that Andy was not at work all day that day, that they know that they talked to people, or they talked to people that work with them, other people that work with him. And I guess somebody had talked to somebody who had worked with him, and the person said like that he did leave that day or something like that. It was anyways, but see, it's all hearsay, like, though, but I just that's how confident I am. And you guys have my word. If I find out Andy was absolutely on absolute proof, then I'm going to have a very serious talk with Fred, and probably would never talk to him again unless he had a very good freaking, excuse. Well, Fred told me today is like, he's like, people think that Hawkins County is over the case. He's like, Hawkins County's not even working the case. He said TBI is the one in charge of Summers' case. Hawkins County is not doing crap, which is obvious. But why aren't they? Why aren't they assisting the TBI, like, with interview? I don't know. I guess there is TBI. There is like local. Obviously, it's not that far away, but right? We have evidence of neglect, no arrest. That's something that a lot of people have wondered, especially in the beginning. Like when that source came to me about the who worked in the system or in CPS and actually had done work in Hawkins County or in that area, Eastern Tennessee. That's what people would say to me, like, well, if this information is true, then why aren't they would be arrested for neglect. because this person was telling me things like there was claims of Candace would pinch, hit, and kick the boys in their private parts and also like would tease them about girls and like just harass, just make them embarrassed and weird about sex stuff, and just it's. But people are like, well, if that's true, then why wouldn't she be arrested? I don't know. Like, I have no idea. But it's obvious we can see ourselves, like, whether that is true or not. I mean, would you be surprised? Like, really, would you be surprised if it came out that Candace was doing something like that? But yeah, I would, of course, I understand the same thing. Like, I mean, from just what I can see, what I know is fact, I don't understand why they haven't been arrested. Maybe because the rights got terminated. Do you remember the gross comment that Candace put on H's Facebook? Yes, the 5-finger or something about rosy palm or something. The kids have been removed with no contact. It can't be for nothing. Yeah. How sad about who said that? Oh, that was when very, very beginning in September of 2021 when I talked to that lady who people call the CPS like leak or whatever, which there wasn't any, or there was no, I didn't see any actual documents. Like, I wish, but I wouldn't put out something like, if I saw actual documents, I wouldn't put that out because that's too sensitive. But it was just hearsay. That's why I talked about it and discussed it. I don't know. Maybe I didn't handle it right, but here we are today, and it seems like it could possibly be correct. A lot of that stuff that was in there. A lot of times if parents agree to cooperate with removal and work a program, DCS will avoid charging them. Yeah, that is true. How far away were you when you saw the person in question? Was there anything that could have caused you to believe you saw the person on one day when it was actually the other day? Well, see, the thing is, like, why it could not be those to another day too. Like, why they would absolutely remember the exact day it happened. For one, it was summer. Like, it was already odd that Andy was back there to begin with. Like, there was no reason for him to be all way down there at the end of Ben Hill Road, past Simpson Loop, really. Unless he was going down to visit the Redmonds or something. But the reason why Fred knows it was that day, for a fact, besides the fact of what he says TBI showed him and what they talked about, is the fact that they had to pull over to let him by. So when that road, once you get past Simpson Loop, once you're going down Ben Hill, the road narrows. It's like turns into just a one-way, or a one-lane road. And in order, you're really, I mean, kind of screwed in some places if another car is coming. Well, not screwed. You'd have to be able to be good at driving backwards, though. But you have to like pull into the grass to let somebody get by. And it's very, very rare. I mean, one time that I've gone back there in the 20 times I've been back there, we'll say just a guesstimate over back there towards Fred or to Fred's. Out of all the times I've been there, I've only passed one person on that road. I saw Fred on the road before I met him once, and then one time when I was going to visit Fred, somebody was leaving there. I think somebody was leaving from either his house or something. I don't know, but I think it was from his house because I think I remember talking to Laura about it and asking if that was their friend or something. Anyways, the person waved, like seemed really nice, like was very friendly, waved and stuff. But one person, so basically Fred's at the end of the holler, like he's at the end of the road. Nobody's going back there. There's not traffic back there. It's literally past Simpson Loop. Nobody's going back there. Definitely not Andy. Andy has no business back there unless he's going to visit the Redmonds or something. Because I hear they're close with Andy and the Bernards, which is weird because they have the same freaking weird thing about the land over there as the Bernards do. The Redmonds and the Bernards, well, I guess I'm calling Jody Sue a Bernard because she's the one that's mainly spoke out about it and that land out there. They're the one, because Redmonds have gave Fred so much hell about wanting that land, his parents' land. The Redmonds want that land for some odd freaking reason and have been like really trying to get Fred out of the holler. Well, that sounds familiar. That really sounds like what Jody Sue was doing to Jackie Dobbs. Why the hell do they want that whole fucking holler out there? But there's no reason why anybody goes back there. He's going to remember. That's going to be weird because that does not happen. That's probably the only time that he's ever passed Andy back there. And it was just an odd thing. I'm sure it's going to be something he remembers because he had to pull over to let him by. And then Summer goes missing a few hours later. I mean, this was only at 3:15, guys. Summer goes missing 3 hours later. He's going to remember that was the same day. You guys could say, or people can say, oh, they were using drugs or whatever. Fred has always had a clear mind, even when he was when I talked to him when he was using. I mean, he didn't use in front of me, but when I knew he was. Oh, cool. I just got an email from somebody too that I'm going to contact this person. They said, I have heard something about Andy being seen at 4 p.m. on June 15th. Call me if you want to know more. Oh, interesting. I will call you. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, let me write a note on that because I really do want to call you about that. See, that's why it's good if we could work together, even though it's in a dream world, Right now, I'm not seeing any of your guys' comments, so don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm just writing this phone number down, making a note. I haven't looked at the comments for 10 minutes now. Okay. All right. Yes, I am interested in that. Hey, Sue Marie, have you talked to Fred? Yeah, I talked to him today. If they own property adjoining it, that could be why to expand their. Yeah, but I understand, but it's weird how they are about the property back there. If you guys, and a lot of you guys know, if you've been following this case, if you saw how weird Jody Sue was about the land and how mad they would get over the land about Jackie Dobbs and stuff, and that's the same shit Redmond's doing down there to Fred, and they're buddies. Fred told me that the Redmonds and Bernards are close. Andy is close with the Redmonds. Why? It's weird. What do they want? Do they want to have a whole community of weirdos out there or something? Did Yes, in self-defense. See, and that's another thing. Did I tell Fred not to talk to Ryan? I mean, that's up to Fred, but I don't think he will be. I don't think he will be after this and what I've told him. But he's free to do what he wants, of course, but he's not. They've only talked once on the phone. It was yesterday. Before it was just through text when he had a chirp. And so he never even gave Fred much of a chance. I mean, really, because he didn't even, it's not, he did try. Actually, I shouldn't say that. He really did try. He went even tried to visit him and stuff. They're just really trying to keep him from speaking, it seems like. Oh, that's another thing Fred was telling me that he went to his he had to go to a, what's it, like a panel, like it's an appointment, like it's like a meeting that you go to if you get in trouble, like a disciplinary meeting. Okay. He had to go to one of those a couple days ago. Guys, I swear to freaking God, I wish I had this recorded, but my new phone, I can't freaking figure out how to get my calls to record. He said, do you know what the reason they told me my chirp got taken originally? And I said, no, what did they tell you? Why did they say the reason? He said that they used the word, the uppers, or the upper people, they use that word that freaking Jody Sue uses all the time. They literally said something. They told Fred it was the decision from the higher ups. That's what he said. It was a decision from the higher ups. Why? That's his only reason. They will not give Fred a reason why he couldn't have his chirp. A decision from the higher ups. Would not tell him anything else. No, Fred doesn't think I'm his girlfriend. Fred has a girlfriend, Laura, who actually sent him money today. Like we were talking earlier today, me and Laura. And I'm the one that sends the money because Laura can't figure it out. So she sent me money today to send to him. But yeah, no, me and Laura talk all the time. I don't know. That's why he's wondering. Your guys' guess is as good as mine. Could that mean Ronnie Lawson? Or could it be TBI? Yeah, I did see Michelle After Dark. I was talking about that earlier. It was really good. He also said TBI was the higher ups that came to do. Yeah. So that's probably, I don't know. But that's literally, he said that they use that word, the higher ups. Freaking Andy lies, just like he was saying he don't remember what vehicle he was driving that day. Andy, a liar. He remembers. Yeah. It's not secret uppers, guys. I don't mean like secret, but it's just, I don't mean it like that. It's not a conspiracy type thing. I mean it like, I mean it like, just as it was, the higher ups. But who are the higher ups? Who is considered the higher ups? Higher ups could be TBI, could be Ronnie Lawson. YouTube, the uppers. Is that what you named it? Your YouTube membership? That's a good one. Higher and uppers are different. He said higher ups. That's what he said. Higher ups is the word he used, Vet Girl. I'm just repeating it like he said it to see what you guys think. Like he thought it was weird. And they said the higher ups, and instead of like, they won't even tell him a name, like when he went to the actual disciplinary hearing. Now the corrections officer, one of the corrections officer did tell him something about it was Ronnie Lawson's decision. And that's also what they told Kathy, I believe. But I don't know. When he went to the disciplinary board, he asked them, because they're going to be have more pull than just a corrections officer. You said he got in trouble because they used that word you were about to say. I'm trying to think what you mean. Yeah. But hey, Jude. A top tier is the elite. Okay, Kathy. I'll try to keep you entertained. There is something I was gonna tell you guys too. And I forgot, but I'll remember it. Scrolling back to. Yeah, we'll go over that, Lucky Lou, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I was going to want to do that because if anybody who hasn't seen it, I think it was very good. And she's fair. Michelle's fair in her. And she's been fair even though like she looks at everybody as suspects. And that includes Fred. So I asked Andy in chat if he seen Don at that shed when he came in that day. He responded, when he comes from work, he does not pass the shed, come in that way. Why not just say yes or no? That is a weird question. Oh, yeah, I don't know. It could be the sheriff passes it down to the lieutenant over the jail and then pass it to corrections. Yeah, that could be. You could be right because Ronnie Lawson has people over him too, right? I'm sure it's TB. I'm sure higher ups are probably. Well, shit, I don't know. It could be TB. It's either TBI or Ronnie Lawson. It has to be. Tell me who has the video of Jody Sue saying that she found Andy's phone with the text message it's done hanging in the window, and she then sent it. I do remember her saying something like that. Jesse. That was kind of, or I don't know. It's been a while, but not like super long ago that I remember something like that. Here, let me put this on the screen so I don't forget to go over it. Because sometimes we get to talking. Oh, and that's the screenshot I'm talking about. I took that screenshot and I did that wiggly line. Because I can't ever do a straight line on those freaking with the highlight thing. Like it starts out straight and then it just gets all jacked. So I sent him that. And because I didn't really understand like what a trust was, a revocable trust. And I told him that. I figured he would know, but I figure it was a sell too, but I didn't know. I was confused what this trust could mean. I kind of had a weird feeling about it. But Michelle goes over that better. I did research a little bit into a trust, but anyways, I thought he would know, and he put out like that it was sold. It's a good. Yeah, we'll just have to watch it. Never mind. I'm gonna shut up. It could have been the chief under the sheriff too. He takes a lot off the sheriff. And Andy said she stole his phone when she was in the hospital from surgery, if I recall correctly. If after 2 years, law enforcement hasn't released anyone, that means they don't need to because they know. Just my opinion. What do you mean? Oh, I need it too, Jesse. I don't know where that clip is. Jody Sue just said on panel recently Jesse, how can people contact you to send you that? Or maybe just somebody send it to me and then I can forward it to Jessie if she emails me too. That might be easier. I would put $1 million bet the big guys in the state attorney general's office is in this case deep. Oh, I know they're listening to me and Fred's calls. But I hope they are. But I already know they're gonna. I mean, I'm not stupid. I want them to. I have a lot of freaking information. I've done a lot of research on this case. And I have a lot of amazing subscribers who've done a lot of research too and have helped me out a lot. So law enforcement would highly benefit from watching some of our YouTube videos and also listening to my phone calls with Fred. Really, Sherry? Right, Natalie? I won't. I don't try to let anybody else's opinion sway how I feel about somebody because I hate when people do that to me. I'm going to give everybody the same. I mean, it's obviously hard to not be biased sometimes, but because you hear things, whatever. Thank you, Sunshine. All right, let's go ahead and start watching this. This is Michelle After Dark. She put this out 12 hours ago, and it's in response to Ryan's video that he put out about his statement about Andy and how he believes Andy, in his mind, is cleared, I guess. I guess that's what Ryan means. So let's begin listening to a voice of reason here.
Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Friday morning, the 22nd of December. So today we're going to talk about the Summer Wells case, and I'm going to respond to a couple of videos by someone called Ryan Finds Truth. I applaud anybody who is prepared to get off their backside and actually go and search for a missing person in their area. So in that regard, I applaud Ryan for doing what he's doing. He's done a bunch of videos searching for Summer Wells, going to different locations. And yes, it's like looking for a needle in 1,000 haystacks, but at least he's trying. That's all good. I did promise myself that I wasn't going to mention his channel at all. The reason being, he seemed to have teamed up with a certain psychic. Listen, I know this is going to potentially lose me subscribers, but there are certain psychics that I would not trust with 2 million barge poles tied together. Would not trust them. Would not touch them with all of those barge poles. No. I'm not saying that certain people in this world don't have gifts. I've had.
What's her issue about Donna? She just actually, I think she hasn't she done some videos on Donna? I think she's talked on it before, which is fine. That's people's opinions. I like Donna. All right. I think that I mean, but you know, it's just people's opinion. So, but she's just stating why she doesn't want to share Ryan's videos, because he was really, a lot of his information, and well, a lot of the stuff he was searching does come from Donna, but he did take in account to other people, like a lot of psychics and stuff. People were, and stuff he knew as what he thought was truth, and took it all in consideration. He's going to places that seem to come up a lot. You know, that seem to be brought up a lot when he's talking to people. But, you know, I agree. I think it's good that he's out there searching. I'm never going to give him, like, I'm not going to be like one of those haters on here, talking shit, like, because he's actually getting off his butt and doing something. Hey, Lake Superior.
Had strange experiences myself that I can't explain. Not saying that at all. Just saying there's certain people. All right. Enough said. However, last couple of videos, he's been interesting. He's been back to Laurel Run Park. You know, the place where Fred Hill said Summer's body might be found because of Roy Cotton Simpson. You know all that from a few months back, if you were following the case.
Thank you for repeating that correctly. Thank you, freaking God. Thank you so much for repeating that correctly. That's the information about Cotton. He thought Cotton was, some of the stuff that he was saying was suspicious. Oh, that's what I want to tell you guys. Speaking of Cotton, thank you, Michelle, for reminding me. That's what today I talked. So remember how I told you guys I haven't been able to ask Fred, like, exactly how the Cotton stuff, like, came about, like, why he was suspicious of Cotton. You know, I've been really careful about what I talk about on the phone, especially like right after the video call situation. But he has been opening up more recently. We've kind of maybe getting a little too relaxed and talking a little too much, but still, he didn't want to talk about that on the phone today. But I understood, because I told him, I said, listen, I want to talk to you about the Cotton thing. I want to know, like, how that all came about, and like what did he say to you that made you feel like he could be involved, and you know how that all went down exactly. And he said that he will let me, that we'll talk when he gets out about that. And I said, yeah, I understand. So trust me, that's what I am really also wanting to know, like, the background of that, so it will make more sense, and like, why then, you know what I mean? Just how it happened. I think, like he's told me, Fred is like, he says he's done his own investigations on his own. And I think that's true. I think he goes around to locals and talks to them and stuff. Because of things he just is always talking to people about when they're over there, I guess, about the case, and they talk to him, and so yeah, he's basically, and he turns it into law enforcement. I mean, you can't freaking fault the guy for turning in info on a little girl missing. That's not, to me, that's not snitching. When is he going to search the Bernard family property? Well, I don't know. And that is, Michelle makes a good point about that in here too. You mean the one on 125? I don't know if he's really interested. He is. I don't know if he's already. He might have already went up there. Yes, I kind of wondered if he went up there yesterday, and that's kind of why the change of heart. All of a sudden, that he met with some of Andy's friends. I don't know, but the property out there on Fields Road. How could Andy give him access to it if he didn't own it, or if his family didn't own it and give him permission to show it for him? Like, you know what I mean? If it couldn't have been sold. If Andy's able to give permission, which here it shows it wasn't sold. It was in a trust. I guess it's means something different.
But he's also been to Fields Road. Where's Fields Road, I hear you say? Well, if you've been following the case as long as I have, you will know where Fields Road is. But let's go to Fields Road. Ooh, right down there. So it's about, I don't know, 2 miles, not quite, maybe a mile and a half. Hold on, let's measure it. So rough and ready measure, 1.35 miles as the crow flies, but obviously we're not crows. We do know that Fields Road has been a place of interest for search teams. When the law enforcement led search teams have been back to the area, November/December 2021, and then February 2022. And they've had the helicopter out. They go round and round and round and round and round and round this area. And then in November and February, they did Fields Road. If you look at the pictures that are on the TBI newsroom, you can pick out certain locations. So they're interested, law enforcement are interested in this area. I've signposted 158 for a reason, which I'll get to in a second. So there's Fields Road. Now you can get to Fields Road through the woods.
We are always going to be connected.
And you'll always be my best friend.
Very quickly. Okay, so why is this important for Ryan? Well, Ryan went there. He took an interest in 158 Fields Road. According to Ryan, doing a little bit of research, he found that 158 and 162 were owned by George Wesley Bernard and Polly Bernard, except they transferred ownership in September 2021. Not quite true. Now, I don't know whether I've made a video about this or not, or whether I just planned to and then decided that I wasn't going to do it because people's financial dealings are none of my business. They're none of your business either. But
Sorry, I'm eating my baked potato. No, they're not. It's not anybody's business, but you know, out there across the sea as, the large pond, as Michelle says, they're more private out there. Like they have stricter laws about stuff that can be put out about people. So they probably are more sensitive to, like here in the United States, all that stuff's out in Front Street. You know, how much what people purchase for how much, everything. All kinds of info. Everything's out there. A sweet potato? But they are used for tax purposes. House flippers use trusts for their properties. Yeah, the way I understand it is it basically makes sure it stays with the family, like that you can't lose it in a Aw, thank you, Jessie, for the Cash App. She says, for your hard work. Oh. But yeah, seriously though, if somebody has that video Jesse's wanted, go ahead and email it to me, and if Jesse, I'll announce if I get it. I'll just forward it to Jesse. I know it's not anybody's business, but when it comes to like it being at 3 months after Summer went missing and stuff, it really does. Like, we can't help but like notice. You know what I mean?
We're here now, aren't we? So I don't remember whether I've made a video on this before, but this is Tennessee Tax Property Records, 158 Fields Road. It consists of a shed and a pole barn and 4.5 acres of land. Didn't sell it. They put it in trust. That's what that means, revocable trust. They've set up a trust. Nothing wrong with that. Right, members of my family have done this. The September of 2021, there was 2 affidavits of heirship signed. Affidavits of heirship. Okay, so Tennessee affidavit of heirship provides conclusive evidence of the deceased person's family history and their heirs. And we know they're all dead interested in family history, but that doesn't mean that John.
Somebody said you don't know when they did that, or you don't know when they decided to do that. Well, we do know that that article, that the highlighted part that she was just showing, that's something I pulled up from the tax assessor website. Myself, and I sent to Ryan. That screenshot he's showing in his video was when I sent him, and in that it shows that that transaction took place in end of September of 2021. You know what I mean? So that's all I know. Hey, Borrowed Angel.
George, Wesley Bernard, and Polly Bernard died. No, because you can do this when you're alive. Okay. Title companies accept a Tennessee affidavit of heirship during the process of transferring real estate. So transferring it from their direct ownership into a trust. We have a warranty deed. So we talked about warranty deeds lots when I discussed Don Wells' ownership of 110 Ben Hill Road. So they signed a warranty deed. They swore affidavits of heirship. I think that is a clerical thing. I think maybe there was a mistake in one of these, so they signed a clerical. I'm not sure what that means. Somebody who is like a property lawyer could tell me, right? But they basically, right, what they did is they put the 2 properties on Fields Road into trust. Nothing wrong with that. Now, Polly still owns, or at least part owns, 125 Ben Hill Road, because that's a family's property. It's been passed down. And then George, Wesley, and Polly both own a property on Lone Star Road in Sullivan County, in which they live. But
yeah, she's correct. They have Bernard's have a lot of property. But one other thing too, I mean, and it does look like they do have ties to Florida. So I do believe that Fred is correct. That trust is out of Florida too, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But Fred says that George and Polly stay in Florida for the majority of the year is what he believes, but They do have that property out there in Lone Star, and then they have the 125 on Ben Hill, and then they have the Two Fields Roads property. And people are wondering about if his parents are, if George Bernard's a Mason, and like his ties like to people. Like, it just seems like he has more money than we would have thought. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like, I mean, their 125 doesn't even have working plumbing. Oh, okay. It looks like, okay, somebody accidentally sees something, but okay, it's probably, I'm sure it was an accident. Oh, it's got to be an accident. I guarantee it. Michelle's probably doing dishes or something, or her grandkids probably got her phone. I swear, like, it's happened before. So that's probably what happened. Hey, Christy. Oh, Tragedy Pips Exposed. Oh yeah, that's Taco Tuesday, Borrowed Angel. They've been after me since day one for some reason. If anybody wants a picture of her, I have a picture of Taco Tuesday. She used to have her picture on her profile. Not that it matters. It doesn't matter. Never mind. Scratch that. I don't do those. I'm not doing that stuff. We're saying professional. But no, Taco Tuesday has been, and I just have that she's like literally a notch below 6 up in the circle jerks. Like, she's like right up there. She has been after me since the beginning for no reason. Like, she doesn't go after, she's biased. Like, she goes after who she doesn't like. And that's the problem. She goes after me because she doesn't like me. She doesn't go after, so she like picks apart everything and twists stuff and even lies or makes things look worse than they are. So yeah, that account used to go by Taco Tuesday. And that's why we used to have a segment here on this channel called Taco Tuesday. It was called Taco Tuesday. And she was our inspiration, except it was TALKO. One of you lovely subscribers came up with it in the comments. I thought it was genius. Yeah, I'm trying not to be a Ziggy Springer anymore. I was like, what the hell? What am I saying? Why did I just say that? Like, why do I need to give somebody her picture? Who cares? F her. She's so below me. Like, sorry, I'm not trying to. It's just that type of behavior and stuff. That's what I mean is below me. I shouldn't. So, in sending pictures and stuff, that's. Why do I trust this Ryan guy? Patricia, I think you've been. You missed you might want to watch my video last night. Thank you, Christy. Not putting blame on anyone, but there's a pic of Mr. Bernard with a toothpick hanging out of his mouth. Oh, that's right. You guys, I was supposed to ask Fred about that too. I literally just got a text from the rehab person, and he's actually going to need transportation. Unfortunately, they don't. So, but I'm asking, and I just asked her back, like, is he going to need picked up from the jail and go straight to rehab type thing? Or is it like, I hope that's what it is, because I don't know what he's going to do if he's released for a couple days. I hope to God, like, I mean, he could go where Laura's at probably, but I'm afraid he would use out there being around that. I don't know, but so I'm waiting to hear back about if they like let him out for a few days, or like do they pick him up straight, or does somebody pick him straight up from the jail then to rehab? How's that work? So waiting to hear back. Okay, so Jesse just email me if anybody has that "it's done" clip that you email me. I will send it over to her.
This property, or two properties on Fields Road, which is also Chimney Top Revocable Trust, and this is agricultural land, multiple parcels. We're kind of moving this around. 2020 quitclaim deed, 2022 correction, I think, and then 2022 quitclaim deed. And then that's 140 acres. And just to be clear, what a revocable trust is, revocable living trust is a trust agreement that is amendable and revocable during one's lifetime. The creators of the trust can be both the creator and the sole trustee. Alternate trustees can be appointed. So I think the address in Fort Lauderdale is the appointed trustee. That's the way I understand it. Revocable living trusts have a few key benefits, like avoiding probate, privacy protection, and protection in the case of incapacitation. However, revocable living trusts can be expensive, don't have direct tax benefits, and don't protect.
I'm curious about what that privacy protection means. Like, what kind of privacy? Jody Sue had put a ring on her finger. She would have had a security blanket, exceptionally in the state of Tennessee, where they don't honor living together and the family cannot sue the other. A person is the trustee, never an address. Your Nightbot won't work for you, Justin? I could probably help you with that. You have to, actually, you know who's perfect? I think it was Marlena Cantu who, why do I think it was Marlena? I don't know how she would know, but I don't know. Somebody actually, when I first worked or got Nightbot on my channel, there is something weird you have to do. You have to add it to your mods. And you also have to take away their permissions, because otherwise they just like, it will block people for stupid stuff. There are privacy protections in the electronic transmissions of data concerning estates and life gifts, such as insurance policies, wills. Okay. I have to look into it more. Oh, you asked Nightbot for $1 billion and it didn't give you $1 billion. Dang it. Restitution lawsuit. Hard for the state to take ownership for drug. Hey, Sheba. Where's Sheba? I better get on this. I'm never going to get this.
Creditors. So that's that. Not that I want to pry into George Wesley and Polly's financial dealings. I don't care. But just to be very clear here. However, what I really want to talk about is Ryan's latest video, which I've already watched.
Hey everyone.
But I want to go through this. It's only 5 minutes. Hope Ryan doesn't mind. This is fair use. I'm going to go through it because Ryan.
I guess I should say I hope Michelle doesn't mind that I'm playing her video. I'm sure she doesn't. I'm sure she doesn't. Definitely had a beautiful. Okay, let's continue.
It's not been on the case that long, so needs to learn some stuff. All right, let's go. Turn my volume up here. Right, volume's up.
I'm going to jump right into it here. This is a quick update on what I've been working on. Ever since Jen and I identified one of the Bernard family's old properties as an area we would like to get access to explore, I've been working on making
current properties in trust.
Sure that Andy is someone that it's safe to meet with and get access to these properties. As part of that work, I first started talking with Andy Bernard and reviewed a lot of the same topics that all of you saw him talk about in previous YouTube panels.
So he must be aware then that the family still own these properties. If he's talking to Andy to get access to the properties, he must be aware that Andy still has access to those properties because the family still owns them. Okay.
That was a good point that she made there that for some reason I didn't think about. Like, how would Andy give him permission to search the properties if they were sold? You know what I mean? So what is Andy not going to give him permission to search those Fields properties because supposedly he's saying they were sold? I do too, Connie.
Different videos. He repeated the same answers to me before I finally asked the question I really wanted to ask, and that was if he knew why his parents had sold the property only 3 months after Summerwell's disappearance. Andy said that his parents sold the land because Andy needed money to restart his life after following his breakup during that time.
They didn't sell it. They put it in trust. It said sell it.
Andy needed money to restart his life after following his breakup during that time.
I'm trying to get her a good facial expression. Dang it!
They didn't sell it. They put it in trust. It's in a revocable trust.
Meet Martha, owner and manager of Bean's Coffee Shop. Yesterday, her commercial espresso machine broke.
Would they really sell 4.5 acres for 14k? Could they have got a whole lot more money if they put it on the open market? They didn't sell it. If Andy needed money after his breakup, why was he on YouTube soliciting donations for a trailer? I mean, maybe his parents did give him some money. Maybe they did. I don't know.
That's my thing about that. Now, he did come on when he came on YouTube. It was like what, like a year ago or something. So it would have been a while after that property transfer to the trust. So, I mean, I guess but the thing is, that was the whole thing. If the whole point was for him to get on his feet, I don't understand. Like, so he also needed help on YouTube for a trailer from people. Andy has told several people also expected money from other creators to search his property and read. I'm wondering, I should have asked Ryan if Andy has asked for anything financially. Hey, Soul Cup. Only call people out who are given to. Andy probably being greedy and wanting as much as he could get for free. Maybe. I mean, maybe. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it is just greed. Maybe it has nothing to do. Maybe it's just nothing. Greed. Why would he need a place they didn't sell it and he could afford? Why would he? I don't understand. Nobody's living up there on 125. Now there is not working plumbing up there, so I understand why they wouldn't want to stay up there. But he's stayed up there forever. Like that's what he was used to. Well, actually, Jody Sue, that's right. Jody Sue wouldn't freaking leave for the longest time, would she? I always throw something if a neighbor asks me for money to speak about a missing child. It happens. He had weed there. Supposedly, he ripped up weed plants. I mean, I understand that because Tennessee, it's illegal and it's stupid, but.
Oh, in my opinion, that doesn't sound true to me.
So that explains why the land was sold shortly after Summer's disappearance. So my next step was to try and check that Andrew actually has an alibi during the critical timing question from 3 p.m. through 6:30 or 7. A number of YouTubers have stated in the past that Andrew has been seen on security cameras at work, but as far as I could tell, no one could confirm the exact specific times he was seen on camera. I don't think.
Jody Sue, his ex, she runs hot and cold with Andy. You know, if she's mad with him, she says that he was giving drugs to sedate the girls so that they could be touched at 110. And then in other breaths, she defends him and slates anybody who has anything bad to say about him. She runs proper hot and cold. But in this regard, she said he was at work. It's Jody Sue. It's Jody Sue who's put that out there. And I'm not saying it's not true, but that's who's put that out there.
She just thinks so logically. It's not in his best interest to tell the truth and the whole truth. It was a way to Jody Sue to leave out without being paid. She would get child support for her daughter because Damien is over 18. Wouldn't get child. Would get. Well, sometimes they get till 21 years old, don't they? How does that explain why the property was sold after the disappearance? How is it not for some other reason? I'm sorry, I was distracted, but I don't think he nailed it. No. I don't. Me and Ryan don't see eye. Obviously, me and Ryan had a little falling out yesterday. I agree. I agree with you that he did not hit the nail on the head. He rushed it. This video was put out in a rush because he was afraid. It was seriously because he was afraid I was going to put out something before him. I'm telling you. You guys are going to have to watch my video yesterday for the explanation on it. I've gone over it a million times, but hey, where's did Andy's dad work at Eastman? Oh my God, dude. So I just got, that's crazy. I just got a text that there's a channel talking shit about me right now, and I have not talked about them. I have purposely like left them alone. We've been completely moved on about other stuff, me and Justin have. Wow. Okay. That could be really important. That could be really important. So his dad did, or he doesn't work there anymore, does he? It just worries me because could there be some kind of like, has he, oh gosh, I don't know. I'm afraid. I don't know if I remember how I introduced you to Fred. Oh yeah, Chris, do you remember? Let's rewrite history. Let's rewrite history. Remember when you met me over at the Airbnb, and then I got on in your carriage, your horse-drawn carriage, and then we galloped over to Ben Hill Road, and it was magical, and we were just going down. They are they Masons for sure? That's what. Yeah, that many in that area do work for Eastman. You think you think he's retired? Hey, little Miss Sunshine. Hot butter, rum in a hand. No, blue solo cup. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, see, I didn't know if the Mason thing was like, actually, I don't think we've ever had proof, just like everything else. I mean, I've looked into chapters around that area in the state of Tennessee. I've looked at members lists because some of them are public. I haven't found Ronnie Lawson or George Bernard in any records. So, but some of them are more secretive. Andy's mom phoned Sweetie Pie Low the evening Summer went missing. Why? And said, like, called her? How'd she get a hold of Lauren? You mean, whoa, how did... Right, Pearl Strand, I know. I don't know. I think, well, Tim said she was leaving, Libby. Did you see her goodbye letter? Who is this solo cup guy? He is a local out there. I can send you, he's been on panel before. He tries it. He comes up with a different name every time he's up here. But maybe you'll recognize him. Didn't Ryan also work at Eastman? That's what I've heard. That's why I was wondering if there's a weird type of, like if maybe that's like, could there be some kind of bias because, they're both like retired from Eastman or something, or they're both, I don't, not on purpose. I'm not saying he's like purposely teaming up with George Bernard or something. I don't believe that. Gosh, stranger things have happened, but he won't tell you his real name a bit anything. All the way from the UK. Thank you, Denise. Yeah, that Mason pic, and which was what pissed me off. Cher's the one that put out that picture. And I'm sorry, like I'm not trying to talk shit about her, but because I'm not going to like rehash something because I've already discussed it before in a previous video a long time ago about that picture. But that picture had to have purposely been put out. I don't know who gave that picture to Cher. Maybe somebody sent it to her. Maybe she didn't know. But like whoever took that picture had to have known that that was not Andy. It clearly says when you do a Google search on that picture, they got it off the Facebook the Facebook Mason page that it came from, like in that area, East Tennessee somewhere. It came off that page, and somebody just like grabbed it because it looked like Andy and said it was Andy when it wasn't. It literally said the guy's name right there on the photo, like, you know, under the photo. So somebody purposely did that shit. I mean, I guess somebody could have sent that to Cher, but she should have. I mean, it's really easy to do image search these days. Why didn't she run it in Google image search? They were capable, most likely culpable. I was going to say that and didn't want to bring her up. Say, you're fine. You know, I don't care about that stuff.
Anyone out there has yet confirmed without a doubt that he was at
I mean,
work
maybe.
the entire day.
What are you afraid? Are you afraid if her name's said 3 times, like she'll show up or something? I mean, that is pretty scary.
Oh, people have rung up his workplace and spoken to people. Now, I can't remember who, or else I'd direct you to it. I've seen at least one person put a phone call out speaking to someone at Andy's work, and they said, yes, he was there. But have we seen photographic evidence of Andy at work? No. Exactly. And Ryan hasn't got that either.
Exactly. And that's why I tried to tell him last night. That's what I tried to tell him last night. I said, please don't jump the gun on this. You might want to wait. I seriously, because he doesn't understand the case like somebody like, I'm sorry, I've been here since the beginning. I'm not like, it doesn't make me better than or anything, or Justin or Michelle or any of you guys. We're not saying that. Or I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, like, I tried to tell him, I tried to warn him, but I guess he just didn't trust me. He must have got paranoid and felt like he would. I think he is a paranoid person. He gets, I mean, just like if you saw that video yesterday where he takes his gun, you know, has his gun and actually seems scared that there's somebody out there, you know, like this person that he was supposed to meet with that Fred referred him to might be out there and kill him or something. It was a little bit crazy. He's definitely a little bit paranoid. So Tiffany, was she in that chat? YouTube is going to get video footage, and if it does, in my opinion, someone would be in trouble. You know what? Like, if I got it, like, proof, if I got actual, I wouldn't even I'd be afraid to put out, like, if I had, let's say, I would never ask that person who I think gave law enforcement the video surveillance, where I think it came from, because Fred told me. I would never ask them for it because I would never put them in that position. I mean, I would like to talk to him and ask him some things if it's true. I would like to, you know, interview him, but I don't want to cause problems for him though too at the same time. But something to assist of that, I would never like put it out because obviously law enforcement doesn't want to put out, you know, or they would have, but still, like, and I don't want to be the one that messes something up, but I do want to ask I want to ask questions. I want to know if they saw on the camera Andy Bernard on the road. I just want to hear what they say. You give him a 5-minute break, Sachiba. That speaking of TM, Tiffany Marie, that tarot reader, that bandit tarot reader, for those that are interested, he did a reading on Tiffany Marie. I've heard rumors that Leslie, who was Allie's friend, used to be married to Roy Kronk, who has found Kaylee's. I've heard that too. I haven't had a chance to really look into that. It's probably something that could be easily figured out. Oh, Christy, Blue Solo Cup, I think, was timed out. Oh, no, he says he knows you. Don't listen, Christy. He's going to try to. I work for a doctor that is a friend. He's full of shit. Don't listen to him.
Tire and Auto Service over in Kingsport, Tennessee, and spoke to Brian Hayworth, the owner.
Make him have
pretty
proof.
busy there today, which appears to be pretty much standard for how the workday goes there. So I waited there until closing to talk with Brian. I spoke with Brian for about 30 to 40 minutes and asked him if he recalled whether or not Andrew was at work on that day on June 15th, 2021. He said Andy arrived late that day, which was typical for him, and that Andy was there all day and finished up until closing time around 6 p.m. He said sometime.
Okay, so I'd like to see a photograph of the surveillance video.
Me too.
That's all.
Times after work, Andrew would even sit in his car for a while using his phone, so it's possible he may have actually left later than 6 p.m. He confirmed that
he did, according to Jody Sue. So, according to Jody Sue, the text at 6:09 or thereabouts was to say that he was leaving.
I remembered all of this because it's exactly what he told the police when they asked him in 2021. He also said that he provided the security camera footage to them as well.
And if that's true, great. If the police can confirm that Andy was at work, great. That's all we need to know. But we've only got hearsay from Jody Sue that the police have got that, and now his boss, and the phone calls that people have made to his workplace to say, yes, he was there that day. But it is hearsay. Could people be covering up for Andy? Yes. But if the cops do actually have surveillance video of Andy at work during the afternoon and throughout the entire afternoon, then of 15th of June 2021, then Andy's in the clear.
If Andy could have slipped away at any point during the day to go to Ben Hill and then return back at work later. He said he or his son would have noticed that, and if he had driven the 26 minutes or so home and back, he would have been gone for a minimum of an hour, and that certainly would have been noticed. I believe Brian Hayworth is about as reliable a source as you could ask for on this matter, so I do believe.
I don't believe anybody.
I don't believe it's a reliable because he's his boss and he owns that tire company. No, you guys, in Sloan Bella's, now I know it's a tarot reading. I know it's a psychic, or I'm sorry, not a tarot reading, a psychic. She even mentions how it's like somebody who's older and younger, like a boss and employee, or father, son, pastor, deacon, something like that. And a lot of us already feel like there could be people like whose own businesses in the area that could be possibly involved. Like we don't know what happened to Summer. It could be a plethora of things. And there's a lot of like smoke around some people in higher up positions. A little sus behavior. And Andy made it. I've got so much info that you want to understand. Well, but you won't say it, Solo Cup. You just play games and think it's funny because you're You know, you come on YouTube in the evening time once you've had a few drinks, and then you come on here and play games, and it's not really funny because we don't know what to believe, whether you're being honest or if you're, you have to. It's like the boy who cried wolf, or what was it? What's that called? The boy who cried wolf. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's wrong, Prayer Garden? Is that really Prayer Garden? Yes, it is. I like Blue Solo Cup. I do like him. I do like you, Blue Solo Cup. You know that. I just don't want. That's the only thing that bothers me. Here, yes, you can come up if you want, PG. I have to pee anyway, so you could take over for a couple minutes for me. Well, here in a few minutes. Yeah, Blue Solo can be. He's okay. He could be here. I just don't. I like to joke around with him, and he can be funny sometimes, but I just don't want to put. It's not funny a joke about child's case. I wish we could petition law enforcement to give us more info. There has to be something that can verify or debunk some of this craziness. I know. I put the link in the chat. Did she not see it? There it is again. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Okay.
What's up, Siggy? What's up?
What's up? What's up? We need to get Justin up here now. We have to get the whole crew.
Yeah. Tell Justin. Come on up.
The link's in there if he wants to. So what were you talking about? I couldn't understand what your message was saying about. I don't know though how you feel about Andy Bernard. What's your feelings on him?
Well, that's why I told you give me a link. Let me come up.
Okay.
Andy Bernard. Let me tell you, Ziggy. Okay. Say he was at work. I mean, I don't know if he was or not. None of us do. And you're right. I think they have, the Bernards have a lot of pull in that area. But that doesn't mean that he didn't come in there before law enforcement and go back out.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, him and Don Wells both could have indeed came in and went back out before law enforcement and then followed each other in again, like they were just, coming in from
supposedly his work, though. His boss supposedly says he was at work all day and that it wouldn't have been possible for him to get he would have had to have been gone for at least an hour without being noticed. And
right. Well, don't you find it kind of funny that him and Candace, Grandis, Jody Sue, and all of them were down at the bottom of the hill on June the 14th. And then they, Grandis watched the kids while they ran out and looking for Mr. Dobbs. What was it going to do if they found him?
Yeah, that's so weird. See what I mean about that property stuff? That's the same way those Redmonds are about the property out there.
If something had already been pre-planned where, trafficking or something was concerned, they was going to put a shoe or maybe put something, plant something in or around the area where that man was to put him in prison for the disappearance of Summer Moon Utah Wells on the 15th.
Yeah. You think that they were...
And Jody Sue clearly said that Andy stood there screaming, he's the last one to see Summers
dead body.
Absolutely. So, and another thing is Jody Sue said even on my panel, said that, and she said it on her own panel a few times, that, her son is in the military because of all of this. And she's also said that, with him being in the military, he's got protection. Are they insane? I mean, what I'm saying is, if law enforcement somehow figures out that, indeed even her son had something to do with this, they're going to yank him out of the military. I mean, the military is not a place of protection, right?
All right. I okay. I'll allow you up if you behave yourself, okay, and not interrupt. You're pretty good about it. I've seen you. You can behave yourself. I've seen you. You're capable. Oh my God! He's mad. Oh, stop it! Stop it! Stop! Oh man.
That was Blue Solo Cup.
He's trying to make me feel bad. Donna's Serene, she talks about someone with money power involved. That is what I would like. Yes. Yeah, I agree with you, Per Garden. Like, I don't know. Did you see my little falling out with Ryan kind of? I mean,
yeah. I like Ryan. I really do. And I support him in every aspect in searching for Summer. Hey, Blue Solo Cup, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you.
So,
I'm sorry, I'm hearing a lot of voices.
Okay, well, so
you're
yeah,
talking
about how you support Ryan and stuff. Yeah, I really.
Well, I'm sure you support him in all he's doing, as in searching for Summer.
Yes, of course.
I'm sure you do.
Absolutely. Yes.
And
yes.
the only thing I can't figure out is why him and his wife ain't inside the Ben Hill community, searching, looking around.
Why they went to Fields Road, or they did go to Ben Hill Road too. Yeah, he has that one bit where they went up, but they didn't go past Simpson Loop though. Like,
I'm saying, how come they haven't went up there, parked, and hiked it, hiked it up and down that road, see him possibly if there's any signs of a mess somewhere,
if they could get back on that, if they could go back there and stuff, if they're able to get on those properties. A lot of the property is private property, and they won't go on. That's the problem. Like, Summer's probably on private property if she, I mean, more than I would guess. A lot of times, there's a lot of private property out there.
Well, yes. I'm going to tell you, Don and Candace. Don and Candace can act out all they want to, but I do not believe Summer's anywhere on their property.
A Prayer Garden.
That's for sure.
I don't mean to interrupt you or Ziggy, but did y'all know that Don Wells and them, they put that property up for they did a title loan on it several months ago, like 6 or 8 months ago, and they ain't got the money to put it back up. You know what I'm saying? To take care of it.
For the house?
Yes, the property.
Or the car, a title loan on the car, the property?
No, the 11 acres that they live on.
And if they would have done that would have, I think that would have been public information.
No, Prayer Garden, it ain't. It's just like if you do a title loan or something like that. It ain't public, but it will be in the next tax records if they don't pay for it. It'll always be in their name as long as they make those payments to the title company and stuff. But
Well, it's in the title company's name until you pay it off.
right,
Right.
It gets switched to their name. Like it switches over to the title company's name, is my belief. Or no, actually, I know
no,
what you
ma'am,
mean.
you're wrong.
Actually, on a title, okay, you're right. It would say
You're
a
wrong.
lien. It would say a
No,
lien.
you're wrong. Yeah, yes, ma'am.
It'd be
It's
it
in
would,
the title companies. Now, I don't want to tell you the title company's name because I have no business saying this anyway. But anyway, it's like that property. They own it, but they don't totally own it because they titled it out.
Really?
They did title loans on it. If you don't believe me, you don't have to. I don't give a shit.
No. I'm not saying I don't believe you at all. Like I like listening to you when you're being like honest with us and not.
um you
But
mean
What I'm saying, they titled it, their loans out. Sometimes they're making payments, sometimes they ain't. But
you mean they got a mortgage?
it's a little bit different from a mortgage, Miss Paragarden. It's kind of a more of a shady deal, not shady deal, but like like a title loan company stuff. We can get quick
yeah,
money on your property stuff.
right.
If you don't believe me,
Yeah.
you don't have to. I don't
No,
care. But
I know what
I
title
know
loans
people in
are.
the
Like
area, and
no.
Paragarden, you don't have to believe me either. But I'm just telling you the truth.
I think title loans are on vehicles only.
No, ma'am, you're wrong about that. It's on property too.
I know it can be for like trailers and stuff, right?
It's
Trailers,
on property
like you get
too.
a title for if you own a trailer, you get actually like something that looks more like a title.
If you
Uh,
don't believe me, you don't have to.
no, I believe that. I would believe that title companies probably would give loans but I mean, gosh, if you're willing to sign over your house,
He's talking. It's called a home deed loan, right? A home deed loan.
Yes, ma'am, something like that.
Okay, yeah,
But it's
okay.
not like a mortgage or nothing. It's people that don't even have credit and stuff that
Right.
you can give away your title.
mhm,
Uh,
yep.
Not give away your title, but sign
You
away
put
your
up the
title
deed. You put up the deed
and
to your home.
loan in. Man, y'all a lot smarter than me. But trust me,
No, we know what you mean.
I'm not lying to you, Prayer Garden.
No,
Um,
I know what you mean. It's shady. It's high interest. Like Flip Flop said, that's
I
true. Yeah, it's
checked
high interest.
after he said that, Ziggy. I checked into it and I couldn't find where there was anything against the land or property. Um,
Well, I might be
yeah,
wrong then, Miss Prayer Garden.
right.
I might be wrong.
Yeah, how did you know, or who did you hear that from? Did you hear it on YouTube or something?
No, I've heard of people that live in this area.
Oh. No,
But
I did
listen,
because it's weird because I feel like I've heard something like that before. So I'm just wondering where I do feel like it. I do feel like, but it's only like I've heard it like maybe like in passing, like, but I don't. But I've
well,
also heard, we've also talked a
well,
lot about the title of that car, so I could be mistaken.
well, I don't know nothing about the title of the cars and stuff, but
Did you hear that Andy parents sold that land that him and Jody Sue was on about 3 months after Summer went missing?
No, it was the one we were just talking about that. It was the Fields Road properties.
Okay.
I don't know about 125. I don't think so. I think that's still in or George Bernard's if you go to the tax assessor website. The ones
Right.
over on Fields Road, they were put in trust. They weren't actually sold, but that's what's interesting is because Andy told Ryan that the reason the properties were sold is because Andy was hard on his luck and he had some help or money or something. But then, like when he was trying to find a house and stuff, that's supposedly what we were just watching Michelle walk. You should watch Michelle After Dark's video. She explains like how they wouldn't have gotten that. It was a trust. It was put into a
What I can't understand, that's the property that has the gate that Andy and Jody Sue lived on before they went to 125, right? Over on
yes.
Phillips Road.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Because I know that as soon as law enforcement got knowledge that that land was there, they were over there searching it.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah, that land was searched.
It's been a huge focus.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
You know,
Ziggy, and you and Prairie Garden both. Why don't y'all know this? Y'all talk to Don. Why don't you ask him about the title?
No, I don't talk to him. I haven't talked to Don. He hasn't ever since I started talking to Fred Hill. He has not talked to me. I've
yeah,
not talked to Don since January 2022 on phone
and
or anything.
right, and I
on a
changed my,
channel.
Well,
I changed my,
Prairie Garden,
nope,
you
no,
got
no.
you got connections.
I changed my phone number so I didn't have to hear him on my voicemails and cost. Don Wells will blow your phone up.
Yes, he does.
Music. He is like straight up. No, I rather not
That's
deal with
why I
that.
was shocked. But see, that's why I was shocked, Pervern, because that's what he used to do. But as soon as I went down as soon as it came out that I was talking to, that I met Fred Hill and stuff, he seriously never contacted me again. I mean, it's weird. It's so weird because
He kept telling me, she took her kid down there to Fred's house, you know, around that place, like you were some kind of unfit parent having your child. No, I think it was the old lady that was up on 110 Ben Hill with them that was told, hey, if you bring this grandchild back up here again, well, we're going to have to remove it from y'all. We did not remove the Wells children to have other people's children come up here. What part of no children are supposed to be here do you not understand?
remember when Fred talked about it.
Hey,
No, I'm
Prairie
trying
Garden and Miss Ziggy, can I go take a little break and
Yes.
can I stay on here and I want to get another beer and take a pee?
Okay, thanks.
Can I do that?
Yes, there would be a lien put on the property until the funds were paid back. Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. You can do these shitty title loan things, even on your property. I own my own property. I own a lot of properties, but if I wanted to, I could take one to some shitty ass company like these same people that do car title loans, and I could put my title up for my property
Yeah.
to get some money, and that's what Donnie and them did. And
I mean, I could see him doing that. We just wouldn't. We'll have to look into
what
it.
I'm trying to say is, I know somebody that knows that they did that.
Okay. Well, we'll look into it. That's interesting.
I did.
Okay.
I couldn't find nothing on it at all.
I know you can't, Prayer Garden. You would not be able to find nothing on it.
Yeah, that's got to be. Yeah, it's got
on the
to
property
be.
records. You won't, Prayer Garden.
Well, in 2024, if they didn't pay for it, come 2024, taxes are due. It's going to pop up somewhere.
I know, ma'am, but it's just a little bit different when you talking this. I mean, I don't mean to respect you, Prayer Garden. I love you. You know I love you. But what I'm saying is, it's different. It's not going to show up on the property record stuff. It's just I don't know how.
Well, I mean, it has to show up somewhere if they're going to seize it for non-payment.
Yeah, but they ain't seizing it right now, ma'am. They'll seize it if they don't quit making payment stuff, and that won't go on record for like months. So, you don't have to blame me if you don't want to, Paragarden. I love you.
And
You know,
we love you too, man.
but I want to go take a pee and get me a beer. Okay.
All right, go for it.
Bye.
I need something stronger than water, says Funsky.
I'm serious.
We both. You're. There's no part arguing with him.
Is that all empty? Are those all empty cans right there? It looked like he done. It looked like he done hit a half of a freaking case already. Come on, dude.
Christy, you want me to ask him how he supposedly knows you? Okay, yeah. Let's see what yes 3 gives for that. let's see here. Okay. Can you imagine if him and oh my god, I can't believe I don't understand why she's over there talking about me. Like I've literally not mentioned her forever. I'm sure now Program's on my panel, she's gonna have a freaking connection, but I've seriously left that lady alone.
Who?
Cow.
Oh,
I guess she's over there talking shit, or
oh
was
my
over there talking
God.
shit about me with Yanni.
She needs to
For some
just.
reason, I haven't even talked about her forever. Like I haven't even, and but
I'm gonna tell you something.
just wants to keep going. Wants it to keep going and going, right?
Well, you can't treat. You can't. It's a two-way street out there. You can't treat others the way that you don't want to be treated, and then expect everybody to treat you the way you do. Ain't gonna happen like that.
Exactly. If she's gonna I'm sitting here like ignoring her and stuff. Like, she's just trying to poke the bear, and it's because she wants the attention. She's one of those people that likes attention, no matter what kind it is.
If she wants poked, I'll poke her, right?
We'll get Blue Solo Cup to do that. We'll put him on the job.
Yeah.
Don't get lost. Don't get lost up in there. Just kidding. Anyways, Blue Soul Cup. Christy Vincent wants to know how you know her.
I
He's
know.
calling animal control on what?
What? Yeah, I know her.
How?
I work for a doctor that knows her.
What do you mean you work for a doctor that knows her? What doctor?
Well, I ain't going to do that.
Well, see? That's what you always say. You always give us stuff, and then you can't tell us how you know what you know. We like evidence here. We like proof. Like you have interesting info sometimes, but you just don't send any proof, and it's basically like nothing when somebody doesn't have anything to back it.
Because I'm an idiot, Ziggy. You
Who's
know
who is he talking about? Cal or Candace?
Right, Didi? He's talking about who? I don't know.
Whose doctor do you know?
I asked him about Christy Vincent. He claims that he knows Christy Vincent, and he won't say it. Christy wants to know how he supposedly knows her, and he says that he works for a doctor's office that knows her.
No, a doctor.
Tell us the doctor. What's the doctor's name start with? What's the doctor's name? Okay, Dr. S, Dr. B, Dr. D. What's his
Dr. K.
What's his Dr. K?
K, yeah, and I shouldn't tell you that much.
All right, do you know? Okay, we'll see if she does it. Dr. K's. Oh, thank you.
Hey, Prayer Garden. Hey, Prayer Garden.
Hey, what's up?
I love you.
That's good to know.
That's good to know. Do you love Daisy or Cal Lady?
That lady's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, a little bit, a lot of it. She just said his name. I think she just said his name. Dr. Kavakian. No, something like that.
Yeah.
Dr. Kozlerich.
Well, let me tell you something. I shouldn't have said that K name.
Why? Is that right?
Well, no, because
because it's right.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't that. It's like if I said that name, Lordy mercy. There's very few names that go with K. And Lordy mercy. I shouldn't have said that. I'll give you a different one.
Okay.
This is a OM collegeist. Starts with an S. I think
so. Another doctor that knows her.
Yeah, I know Chrissy.
So
I know Chrissy. I work for a lady that knows her.
Who's a doctor? A lady that's a doctor?
No, that was married to a doctor that works for her.
You just said that you worked for a doctor.
I work for several doctors. I work for one doctor. I work for somebody
Oh, are
knows.
you a contractor?
Yes, I'm a contractor.
Oh, okay.
I'm a
That makes sense.
building remodeler.
Okay, that's right. You have said that before, so I believe you.
Yeah, he gets inside everybody's house and office, right?
Yes, yes.
Survivor. People are. Are you related to Ronnie Lawson? People
Now,
want to know.
if I told you that, okay, I don't know if I want to get in this.
Half this.
Can you be more specific?
Oh my God. Are you kin to him? Okay. Okay. How about this? Are
Okay.
you?
Is any of Ronnie Lawson's DNA in you or your family?
Or are you talking about?
I'm talking about your great grandma, great great grandpas. Are you DNA related?
No.
Okay, so was you married? Was you married to someone that is?
No. Keep on asking, though.
So did someone in your family marry into his family?
Yes.
Okay, so you are related by association to someone else in the family.
Yes.
So related by marriage, kind of like a. Well, see, that could be a million different people. You came on here and said that. I mean, that makes sense that you would be related to him because you came on here before and said that you were related to some of those people in that big drug bust that Jody Sue told on everybody about.
Yes.
Okay. I thought he was going to say that he was going to marry Ronnie's mother, but Ronnie came out and he ran. All right.
Are you neighbors with Ronnie Lawson?
No.
No, he lives over in Kingsport.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what you said. You said you live in Kingsport. So if you know Christy, how well do you know Christy? Do you know where she lives currently?
Don't know
Not
Chrissy,
like her
but I have
house.
met her. Don't know Chrissy, but I have met her.
Oh, you've met her?
In passing.
Oh.
She
Like
probably don't remember.
They all are family over there. I mean, Fred, Andy, and yeah, they're all related. Marlena Crawford. But it's just like it's nothing though, because like they hardly it's nothing to be like out there around the Ben Hill Beach Creek area. Everybody's that doesn't mean that you're close.
I'm not from Beach Creek or nothing like that. I'm from Kingsport. I've never been in that area. I mean, I've been, traveling through maybe to a job or two many years ago or something like that. But I don't know. I ain't from the country. I'm from Kingsport.
Yeah. Somebody said, I live in Knoxville, Tennessee. I was checking into the trust fund versus like a will or inheritance. If you own a lot of property and it's worth a lot of money and your assets equal up to a certain amount of money, you would put that in a trust fund. So if you pass away, that your heirs would not have to pay taxes on it in the trust fund, but only release a certain amount of money to the inheritor so they will not spend all the money.
What's that all about?
Okay. Oh, that's something that somebody was talking to me, or because I was trying to learn about what trust funds were like, more about that executor trust or that chimney top trust that those properties are in.
Yeah, a trust usually has strings attached to them.
Yeah, I'm not very educated on that stuff. So I mean, and I thought maybe I gave that paper. I showed Ryan that I showed him that. I was like, And I told him that it was sold to a trust, because I thought that's what that meant. I didn't know what that meant. To a company it was sold, and I thought he would know, because I mean, I'm just surprised that he didn't know what a trust was. I mean, I know it's not surprising for me because I'm like airheadish.
So I'm not clear when it comes to Ryan. What are you uncomfortable with when it comes to him, Ziggy?
Oh, I did a live yesterday, and it was an hour and a half, and it took a long time to tell the whole story. Basically, I felt used and disrespected. I helped him a lot, and it's a long story. I put it out yesterday. He did something. It showed me a lot about who he is. I was very shocked because I asked him that. You'll have to watch that video. It's such a long story.
It was to my understandings that you were upset because he put out some information that should not have been put out here.
No. I was upset because he put out stuff that was not. I told him he was calling it real evidence that Andy was on the road that day, was not on the road that day. He was trying to say he had absolute proof that Andy was not on that road that day. And I asked him to show me, it, because I was like, can you tell me what this evidence is? Because he was giving me some kinds of heads up that, basically he was going to put that out, and he wanted to let me know that it's not going to make Fred look good. And I'm like, okay, well, what is it? What's this evidence? And he wouldn't tell me. I'm like, are you serious? You're not going to tell me? Because we've been in contact. I mean, I was the one that was a guest on the show. I've been the one that's giving him all this information, putting him in contact with Fred, and just sending him, I'm the one that sent him stuff about that revocable trust and stuff. And he told me, well, I'm not saying that Fred's lying or whatever, but he talked to Andy Bernard. He never got a chance to talk to really Fred until yesterday, except through text. But anyways, I told him, I said, he wouldn't tell me the proof that he supposedly had that Andy was definitely not on that property. And he told me he was going to put it out in a video in a few days. And I'm like, so you're not going to tell me because you're afraid I'm going to put it out before you? And then I got upset because I couldn't believe he wouldn't trust me, because, he was afraid I was going to put it out, and I trusted him with stuff that nobody's seen, stuff that I've trusted him. I thought we were working together. I thought he was in it for the right reasons. That's why I really trusted him. And anyway, while I got upset, and next thing I know, he posts a video about it and right. Tells everyone, saying basically that he's clearing Andy Bernard, that he has an alibi and stuff. And
how can he clear someone that law enforcement ain't even cleared yet?
I know, that's why people are, and I tried to deter him from doing that video, because I tried to tell him, first of all, it's not good I knew that he did not have absolute evidence. And he did that video yesterday and had, just like I thought, did not have absolute evidence, but still, it's just he's not really thinking like somebody. He's not as professional as I thought he was. I thought he had a background in this stuff. And he's really influenced in what people say about him. Ever since I was on his panel,
hey, Ziggy.
Huh?
Hey, Ziggy.
Yes.
What you're trying to say, he's full of shit, right?
No, I'm not saying he's full of shit. I think that he just, I don't like the competitiveness and the feeling of, oh, I got to get this. He couldn't trust me with the information, but then he put it out right then. You know what I mean? When it was supposed to be put out, he was going to put it out in a few days, but he was afraid I was going to speak on it because he could tell I was upset. So he hurried and did the video and decided to say, that Andy was not on that road that day. He talked to the boss, and, that's about as good of a source as you can get. And, then he talks about how, he talked to Fred Hill, and Fred still is swearing that Andy was on that road that day, like he's always said. But I guess for some reason he just believes he talked to some people, and that's all the evidence he needs. He didn't see any actual evidence. He acted like, to me, he had evidence, but now it makes sense. I knew he didn't have evidence, and now I knew he didn't. I knew evidence. He wouldn't even tell me that he talked to the guy at his work at first. Like, I knew that's what it was. It had something to do with his work. And I tried to tell him that stuff's already been put out before. Like, people have already talked to Andy's boss before. This is not new info. Like, his boss has already told people that he was on camera that day, So his boss told Ryan this stuff, and I guess Ryan took it as fact. But it's hard to explain. You'd have to really watch I wasn't going to talk about it anymore. Really, I was going to just be a one and done, but I'm just trying to explain it to you because it's very confusing.
I understand, Ziggy.
I asked him, I begged him. I said, please. I said, and he totally like, I don't know, pulled the rug out from under me. I was really disappointed that I was just more disappointed than I was angry at first, but then it turned to disappointment.
Right.
Hello.
Hello.
I totally understand.
This evening?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay.
Hello.
Blue Solo Cup, how you doing?
I'm
PG
doing
as
fine,
well?
buddy.
I'm going to step away for a minute if you guys don't mind. I have to go use the bathroom.
Okay.
Hello, ladies in the chat. Miss Justice, Blue Eyes, Dumplings. How you all doing?
Hello. I should not have said
that. You're fine. I didn't hear anything you just said wrong. So, just to clear things up, Blue Solo Cup.
Yeah.
It's a very distant acquaintance that you actually know who Christy is. If you actually passed her in a crowd at this point in time, you probably would not recognize her or know her by name, correct?
No, I know her from a party.
But you're missing what I'm saying, though.
Okay, go ahead.
If you've met her at a party and you really didn't speak to her, if you were downtown Kingsport and she was on the opposite side of the street, you probably would not recognize her or go up to her and say, hello, how you doing, that kind of thing, correct?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, you got to be careful about that, man, because you actually had her a little bit freaked out. Not like totally freaked out, but a little bit enough that she actually left the chat.
Well, I was just kidding. I don't know her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding, buddy. I don't know her.
Okay. I just want to clear things up because on that.
You don't know who?
He just said he doesn't know Christy.
I just bull.
All right. I'm done with that. I'm sorry. I don't like lies. I don't like the games. Like, this is stupid. I told him I was giving him another chance. He knew that, so
sorry.
That was his chance.
Sorry, I had you had somebody leave your chat because they were a little bit disturbed by him what he was saying. I took it on myself to poke a little bit into what he was saying.
Oh, to get him to admit he didn't know what he was talking.
Yeah,
he was bullshitting.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, because when I came in and I heard like he's like, "Oh, I'm just kidding," I overheard that. I was like, "What do you? Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
What? Excuse me? Wait, who?" And when I heard that, who are you just kidding back? Who don't you know? Don't tell me it's Christy, because I just freaking told you not to play games up here. Like, please.
Yeah, I that's exactly what I was poking at. Sorry, but if Ziggy, please correct me. It's from everything I've heard from you, and granted, I went back to work today. I've been off almost all week, and I only heard little bits and pieces about what happened with Ryan. but it's more you're upset that you felt this information need to be vetted more, and he's jumping to throw this out there haphazardly.
Yes, that's exactly it. See, thanks for explaining that. Good, because yeah, sometimes I'm not good with my words, especially after I like tell a story a million times. Because you know how you get like kind of like you know, you kind of forget details, you get lazy about it. That's exactly why. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like because first of all, I asked him. I told him first of all, you know, you're basically saying Fred's like lying if you say that. And he's like, oh no, I'm not saying Fred's lying. I'm like, you don't understand. That means Fred's lying. If Andy was not on that road that day, Fred lied to me. Like I've said a million times. And I would never talk to Fred again if I had proof that he lied to me surrounding this case. Like after talking to him for over 2 years or for 2 years, like, anyways, I need to say real quick. I need to say thank you to I hope that that's okay that I say your name. Little Miss Sunshine. Hold on. Merry Christmas and thank you so much. Thank you so much for the PayPal. I don't know if I should say, I don't know if you go by your first name in chat. I forget. And Blue Soul Cup Septa. Thank you, Little Miss Sunshine. I like Blue Soul Cup. I do like him okay. Huh?
Did PG run off?
Oh shit. Oh yes, she did. She just dropped Prayer Garden. I guess she's like that. I don't know. Yeah, she just dropped out of nowhere.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't even watching the chat. I mean, the back chat or anything. I was watching.
Yeah, I didn't
wasn't
know
watching StreamYards. I was watching YouTube. But that from everything that we had been hearing about Andy and being on Ben Hill Road prior to 6 p.m., it's come out with multiple sources before and has been discussed thoroughly by creators that he actually was there. And all of a sudden we're hearing contrary information. You know, it needs to be vetted. It needs to be sorted out, figure out what the sources are on both sides. You know,
yeah, I just asked them for that respect. Especially, I was just trying to ask him, like, please give me that respect to be, you know, as much as I've helped you, please, like, because it involved Fred. You know, I was like, please, like, before you go out and basically call Fred a liar, I mean, even though he's not saying that, to me, it is, because it would mean he lied if Andy was not on that road that day, and that's just how I feel about it because of the stuff he's talked about, talking to TBI with and stuff like that. Well, you wouldn't talk to TBI about that stuff if, you know what I mean? They wouldn't be talking to you about Andy being on the road that day if it didn't happen, if it was a different day. He couldn't have mixed it up or anything.
Here's the thing that sticks on me on this. Since Fred is in custody, if they have evidence that he's lying to them and has been lying to them, why haven't they put charges on him? Because that's a federal crime. He's interfering with a federal investigation.
Oh, about if well, according to Fred, he was saying that he wasn't he doesn't remember if he was on that road that day, and he doesn't remember what he was driving. It's what Fred claimed or said that Andy had told. It's like, how the hell do you not remember? Just like that interview. That's why I don't understand. Why aren't they, like Michelle said in her video, like interrogating the crap out of him? Same thing with Candace. Like, she would get her alone, you know what I mean? Interrogate her by herself. She would crack.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I believe so. I believe that's the whole reason that from the get-go, when she all of a sudden, before the whole Dr. Phil thing and the behavior panel, she made the statement, I feel like I'm being interrogated. That wasn't by accident. That was an intentional statement that she was withdrawing because she felt like they were an agent of the police and they were trying to interview her for the police. And she completely shut down. She refused to, let's not forget with Candace, she refused. The police specifically wanted to speak to her, not Don and her. It was just her for, I believe it was a third time, and they refused.
Yeah.
It's a telltale right there.
People have a couple questions I want to answer. Fred said he was shown pictures of the cars and Candace walking. Yeah, it was, yes, still shots, not actual video, he says. Maybe they are hoping Fred will talk to help himself. Nah, no. I don't believe Fred's at all, even on their radar. That's just my opinion, though. I don't, because that wouldn't even. I mean, maybe they are listening to her. Maybe just to. I don't know.
They were evasive enough because they know how to act. They know how to answer the police to be evasive enough that there's no conclusion about what happened. I know that's, word salad kind of, but it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they remained. Any statement that the Wells had made were were general enough that they couldn't come out with a conclusion.
Yeah. Tennessee Mom. My email's youtubeziggy@outlook.com. Can one of the mods put it in the chat just in case? Like, I'd love to see it. I love your picture, your profile picture too. It's really pretty. Who's on the panel? It's RJ. It has no reason to lie. Like, the only absolute reason, and I haven't had anything contradict in 2 years. I haven't had absolute proof. So, like, that would have been absolute proof. If he had absolute proof, I was just asking him the courtesy of giving me an advance notice. And he acted like it was going to be a few days. So, but then he just released it last night. I was just irritated. It was his respect thing. I hate that even. I mean, I still appreciate him out there looking for Summer, definitely. It's just, I can't, it's going to be hard for me to even work with somebody though who believes in Andy that much. Like, it's like, I know that we're supposed to be all the same team. It's just like, it's in this situation, and that's the one person, it'd really be hard for me to, I mean, unless we're just, pulling together facts, but as far as like talking, like as closely as we were working one-on-one, me and Ryan, that would be a huge conflict of interest. I think.
No, it's a matter of, you have to be able to look at. I like to say I try to look at things like a glass marble. You look at one thing, one angle, and then you turn it and twist it, and you see it at another angle. You got to have those persons that can do that, because it's not to spin a story, but if you're having that different point of view and can articulate it the right way to another person, you accomplish quite a bit.
If you tell the truth, like the reason I just know too. Also, if you tell the truth, you don't have to worry about remembering it. You're always going to tell the truth. And the thing is, over the past couple of years, I've never had Fred slip up like Dawn and Candace have over and over again, and Jody Sue. Even Andy a little bit, but he hasn't talked out that much. He just says, "I don't know." He more so just avoids. He's smarter than the rest, I think. But it's something in the past 2 years would contradict. So I have no reason to believe that. It's just not even a thought in my mind that he's anything to do with this.
Yeah, look, you say you don't have an issue with somebody going out and looking, and neither do I. But you got to put it in, especially when you're confiding with, like, in somebody like you got to put out there, hey, look, I'm in contact with this person as well, and they're saying this. If you're going to truly form a team like that, you've got to put all the cards on the table and trust that person's not going to go and well, one, you said you wouldn't, and no. I do believe you. I've been around you long enough that I know you wouldn't. But run on YouTube and say, "Hey, I heard this, blah 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 blah."
Yeah.
Oh, and at the same time, you can't do what he did. So you have every single right to have an issue or be at issue, because some men, I'll put it this way, it's personality types. There's a personality type rather that is a peacock. And peacock, it's literally as it describes. They like to display their feathers. They like to strut around, be all prideful of, I did this, I did that, so on and so forth. And they like to show off how colorful their feathers are.
Yeah, and I would have never, that would have been horrible for me to take his information. You know, I would have never done that. I just thought he, you know, as much as I trust him with, that was my only issue. But like, you know, it's, we were talking about, kind of want to just, I'm trying, it's hard not, because I know a lot of people are talking about it today. I'm trying to move away from talking about him, because I'm not saying like he's a bad guy or anything. I just don't feel like I want to work with him anymore. Like, I don't want to, you know, be, and so, yeah, it's hard for me it's hard because I have these strong opinions, but I do at the same time, I do.
No, I'm not trying to talk about him. I'm saying, I'm
simply
saying that
I'm telling that to myself. I'm just saying that to myself. Like, it's hard for me not to like mention him and stuff. And I just don't want him. I don't want to put hate on somebody or anything. So I hope everybody knows that's definitely not what I'm doing. It's just we just had a little difference of opinions, I think. And I just, yeah.
No, but I'm not trying to trash him. I'm not trying to knock him. I'm simply saying what you're experiencing today, that gut wrench, gut punch moment, is totally, and how you're feeling about it is totally warranted.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because I wondered at first if I was like exaggerating, you know, and I knew people would think I was exaggerating at first, but that's why I needed people to hear the whole story. That's why I wanted Prayer Garden to listen to the whole live yesterday. I can't sit here and I mean, there's a lot that goes into this, and it's all in my video yesterday if people want to listen to it and see my side of it. But, you know, it's not really about sides anyways. I was hoping, it's just disappointing. I was hoping me and him could work together. And he's just a little bit different than I thought he was. He's cool. I mean, he's all right though. Oh yeah. And supposedly Andy Bernard's boss said to Ryan that he hasn't talked to anybody but TBI. Well, I've had other people email me, and there's been several people in the chat say that's not the fact, that there's actually a recording out there. Now, I don't know, is it a different boss? Like, you know, like a lower level and a higher level boss or something? Is it Hayworth a local owned business? How many bosses would there be? I wonder. Maybe two, like one manager and one the owner.
Well, that's a good point, because if you go by how Tucker is handling this whole investigation thing, and you look at what H has said, that there are certain things that he's been told by law enforcement that he's not allowed to speak of, whether it's true, whether or not it's his mom saying that, whether it's, I don't care. There are times when you can't just go and approach somebody like a boss or somebody that has can either prove or break somebody's alibi, because they will literally, the police will say, don't speak of this. Please do not repeat this again. It's only for information that we're asking you to share with us for now until we need it further down the road of the investigation again. And that's exactly the way Tucker has taken this whole investigation since he spoke to the police. He says, I cannot speak to this. You're going to have to speak to my lawyer. You're going to have to speak to TBI, whoever. He totally deflects it away from him.
Yeah, it's hard to know what Ryan's saying is all knows interest. I heard he went in late, so wasn't there all day. Big question, did he get off early? Jesse, my head is tired. What? Oh, a wise old lady said, I hit the like. Have you? Thank you, wise old lady. I feel sorry for his wife. I think she seems like her birthday is like a day after mine, I think, or something. A day before or a day after mine. I could see like a lot of myself in her. I can see like same characteristics. A lot of these people are connected, and many are also into illegal activity. So Andy could know stuff about his boss or have something on him, and he's just saying he saw him that day. Yeah, we don't know like what. There's been so much rumors about possible like businessmen involved here, or business owners in the area out there. So how? I mean, I wish like he would have that would have been awesome if the guy would have gave him video. That'd be okay to play. Andy at work, dear. I think that'd be okay to play on
absolutely a video clip, absolutely, because that's the proof everybody cannot dispute. There's right now we can know everybody can dispute it because it's word of mouth. I was told this, but if you had a video recording or even just the audio recording where he identifies himself, I am so and so, I am the manager, owner of this business, and which I employed Andy, and it was under my employment at that time, and yes, he was here until so and so time.
I don't even think that is evidence. I think I would still want video.
No, it's not as good as the video, but it's still verifiable, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it wouldn't be evidence to me because it's the same. Like basically, Ryan thinks that we should just like trust the guy because he trusts him. But when it starts going through different people and stuff, first of all, yes, it would be much better if we heard from the manager ourselves. I heard a recording. He should have recorded that, but not. He said he didn't want to put a video camera in his face. You don't have to record the audio. I don't understand, but anyways.
Well, it's very simple. Hey, I'm digging into some information I haven't heard other people cover about Summer Wells. Do you mind if I speak to you for 5 minutes? And I would like to record it. Do you have anything against that? That's all you got to say. And then let me say yes, no, I can't do that. It's as simple as that. Can you hear what's playing in the other room? I just want to make sure I'm not causing an issue with like possible copyright or anything.
No.
Okay, fine.
I am gonna go, guys, here in a couple minutes because I have to go. I'm gonna go to the gas station before it closes, and they close in 45 minutes. So here in a bit, I am gonna go in just a few minutes. But let's see. I also thought there was proof of Andy there and why the cam footage mysteriously disappeared. I've always thought that there was proof of Andy there, and that's why the cam footage mysteriously disappeared. I want a video of Ryan asking Brian, and we couldn't even get that space. Yeah. Well, what if I don't know this? I would have to know I'd have to look into the character of this guy and his background. Yeah, I don't know. We've even been suspicious of Ronnie Lawson. So how can we believe, or how can we trust, a business owner or the boss of Andy? You know what I mean? If we're suspicious of people like Ronnie Lawson or people in power, then it makes me worry about just believing somebody because they're the business owner. And why would they? The only people sometimes lie just because I don't understand, but sometimes people just lie to lie. A lot of times. Didn't Andy get fired? I thought so.
Which would, kind of double down of
yeah.
The boss has no reason to stand for him one way or the other. So does it lean a little bit? I mean, a fractional, like your thumb and your forefinger a quarter inch apart, just that little tiny bit more. Yeah, but that's it. Still would rather have seen a video just like Ziggy was saying.
But see, we've already heard that before. We've already heard that the boss has said he was on camera all day and stuff. And people have, like Chroma Mama has, this is stuff that we've already known and taken into a consideration. It's not really nothing new. I mean, it's the same thing we've always had. Somebody telling us what the boss has said, But Chroma Mama, I think there is some audio out there. I guess we're just going to have to relook. 10 memberships. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's huge, Elf. Thank you.
Yeah. Really nice. But yeah, I see what you mean. It does like maybe a smidgen, like, but it's not. It's just not enough for me.
Yeah,
but
just a pinch.
But still,
it's not.
It's just. It's really no different than what everybody else has said before. So you need to hear it. Yes, there is. You need to hear. Okay, I'll look into it. Maybe I'll listen to it here on my way to the. I am gonna go, guys. I do have to go. I'm sorry. Until T-Bite clears and when they're all still suspects. Yeah.
Kathy, yes, I appreciate that very much. But I ain't worried about him liking me or not. He likes to have his jokes and whatnot, and I'm sorry, I won't let somebody get run off and annoyed or disturbed or frustrated or whatever she may have been feeling. That was uncalled for, and so I had to, I said something.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Thank you, RJ, for coming up, and thanks to the other people also who came up. To Blue Solo Cup and PG. Appreciate you guys. Everybody have a good night. And we're beginning to look a lot like Christmas. All right. Good night, everybody.